Okay, a little while ago I replaced my 928 from Verizon on the left with the new 950 on AT&T on the right. Well, one problem with that. I had this giant phone now I needed to deal with. And so I found myself carrying not only my wallet, but a phone that I had to put somewhere. Well, I decided to check into the options of what I can do to consolidate that. Well, a quick trip to Amazon revealed a whole bunch of choices, anywhere from hard cases with very techy looks to leather and soft cases. And I chose one of those. I chose the leather case. I was intrigued by the kickstand. So here it is. Now, if we take a look at it, there's several things you need to be aware when you're buying cases. First of all, how does the phone fit? If you notice here, this has got the holes for every one of your connections. This one on the side doesn't actually have holes for the buttons, which is actually good. It keeps dirt out from your buttons there. It does have the holes for connections, as you can see here, and of course your back for your camera. Now, as far as installing the phone, since it's a rubbery insert here, it's not a hard plastic, it bends. It's very nice in order to put it in. All you have to do is take your thumbs and press in everywhere around the edges until you feel it click into place. It actually will wrap around each corner of your phone, and it's a little bit of a nice snug fit, so it won't come popping out later on. You can see there how the edge wraps nicely around the phone. So how well does it work? Well, if we look here on the edges, if we press those buttons that were encased in plastic, you see it responds nicely. I press on the camera button here on the bottom corner, and the camera comes up. All I can see is the white background, but the camera works fine. So you can access the buttons quite easily. It's really nice. Your connections are all there. Everything's working just perfectly. Now, as far as using it as a wallet, well, it's got several slots. They're hard to see here, but it's got several slots that you can use for credit cards. So if we take it and we slide the credit cards in over here off camera and take a look at it, you'll see that the cards slide in very nicely. This is credit cards there. And I'm going to put my driver's license and my other ID there. And actually, you can access them quite nicely. They pull out. I have 3 cards in here, easy to get at. So the card function works pretty good. Not a lot of storage, but it works nonetheless. So besides card storage, they advertise that you can put cash in. So let's try and do that. We're going to stuff some cash in here, and we soon find out even on this XL large case, they're not going to go in like that. So what you have to do is you have to basically fold your cash if you only have any in there. I very rarely carry it, but there's definitely not going to go in. So if you just fold it in half, open it up, shove it in there. Now the phone gets a little thick here with all that folding and all that cash and all those cards. But nonetheless, it still closes and it's easy to have. A little bit of gap there, but it's workable. Unlike some of the other cases, this one doesn't have a little flip over latch that latches it closed, but it does have a magnet in here that makes that connect up magnetically backwards. So you can leave your phone like this all the time if you want, or you can carry it closed up. And there's also no driver's license opening there, so you can't see it without pulling it out. What I do like about the phone, though, is the kickstand feature. If you notice here, you just bring up the phone, and you have it like that, and it just folds up and creates its own little kickstand so you can use it. So let's do that. So we'll go here and put the phone into whatever angle you want. So we look down here and you see the angle, infinitely adjustable to the angle that you're using it for. So we turn it a little sideways here, and we press the buttons up top to activate the phone. And you know what? It comes up, of course, in the menu doesn't rotate, as you well know, in a Windows phone. But we can go ahead and use voice commands to do our business here. So we're going to invoke Cortana and say, Old Guy Geek on YouTube. And sure enough, we come up with our listing here. And there's this guy called Old Guy Geek on YouTube. And we look here, and we find his videos. And I shut off the background noise for this, but you'll see here when I press on it, There it is, and it comes up, and you can watch a movie, videos, whatever you want, or play a game for that matter, if it supports landscape mode using the kickstand feature. There's one more feature we need to talk about, whether or not the case interferes with the wireless charging. If you have a wireless charging pad, you should be concerned about this whenever you buy a case. I found out with several cases there's no problem. So if I take the phone, it's still inside the case, and I lay it here, you'll see that at the top, wireless charging has kicked in, and no problem whatsoever. So you don't have to worry about wireless charging when you have a case. Now, I also bought a case as a gift for my in-laws, my father-in-law, and it has a tab over there, but it's basically the same case. It has the same kind of function, except it has a window here for your cards, and you have a 3 instead of 2. It has the same flexible insert, okay? And again, this is for the 640 regular, and it's got all the openings for the buttons. It's a very nice magnetic catch right there. So it's almost identical in function to the last one you looked at. And again, it also has the ability to open up and make a kickstand out of it. So that's really nice as well. So it also, besides the stand function, this also has one more feature. It comes with a pen, which is really great for if you have fat fingers like me and trying to type something. So I'm going to use it on the 950 here. If you have a capacitive screen phone, this pen will work. And you can buy a pen separately, by the way. So if we go up here, and I'm skipping over here to a text message, and I want to type something, if I go up here and the screen editing screen comes up, I can use the pen instead of my fingers, and where I make tons of mistakes, I can just type in things using the pen instead of my fingers. And I haven't made a mistake one. It takes a little getting used to, but it works really well. So there you have it, some cases for Windows phones. They all work. They have different kind of functions maybe on the case. Just take a look at what's out there. And they're only like $10, so it's not like you're spending a ton of money. So go out there and get yourself a nice little case. A very convenient thing to have for your very functional Windows phone. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe to Old Guy Geek. Come on back for Windows 8 and Windows 10, and Windows Phone 8 and Windows 10, and general how-to videos, all here to help you make the most out of your system.